Nobody's thinking like that.
It's I want to make money too. Like the guaranteed contracts, like that should just be a thing in the NFL. Get a guaranteed contract, a base pay salary set up, and then you can get all your money in incentives. Which it is what it is. But with this collective bargaining agreement, it's just what it's going to have to be. But I would stop signing deals 10 years at a time. I would go 5 years at a time. That's what I'm saying. Like, for 10 years, 48%, I don't know who taught them to negotiate, but that's terrible negotiating. I would have an automatic I would have a player option to opt out at 5 years of the current CBA. I hope, if that's built into the contract, at 5 years, we come back to the table, we reconvene assets and liabilities and all that, and we decide, okay, we want a 50-50 split in 5 years. I think that's fair. But, of course, it's when you don't have any leverage and you're already you already have just the stigma of being a weak union, and unions in this country are already kind of being attacked, and in some cases are dead already. It's kind of hard to win this battle. And I don't see NFL players ever winning this battle. This war, I should say. I don't ever see fully guaranteed contracts happening. Just don't.
I think that's also kind of where the NFL is coming at in terms of negotiating it, in terms of okay, we'll give it a decade to test out the 17-game format.
Or we'll just wait out some of the guys who are here.
And if it works, then when they want 50% in 10 years, then we can tack on that 18th game. Or then we can tack on that 8th playoff team. Or we can tack on that extra round of the playoffs, or a playing game, or whatever they're going to want to do at that point in time. But I think that's ultimately what they're thinking in terms of long term, because it's just hard, because the nature of the scenario is you got a group of 1,000 people who are essentially negotiating for right now, and this next 5 to 10 years of their lives, and then you got a group of 30 to 50 people who are negotiating for indefinite. They have a 10, 20-year plan of what they're trying to do and their goals and their execution. They got a 100-year plan. Exactly. So they're thinking long term. They're thinking of, okay, where are you going to be at in 2 or 3 CBAs? Versus the players aren't necessarily thinking of that. They're just thinking of, how can I get my money now, and how can I have money when I retire?
Somebody's going to have to sacrifice.
Well, so far it's been a pretty, give and take scenario. But
the owners can concede crumbs.
But ultimately, exactly. Won. Ultimately, when it's a compromise, that means one, it wasn't a good negotiation because you didn't get everything you want, and 2, nobody won.
Exactly.
So, and in this case, since the owners already have all the power, they already have the power indefinitely, them not winning, them tying is a win.
Yeah. House money.
So with that, I guess we got to move to the rest of the draft cycle. We got the NFL Combine officially starting next week. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I'm sure we'll be talking about it the next couple of weeks. But just real quick, thoughts on the Combine, players who aren't going, players who are going, who you expect to blow it up. Any other takes?
Yeah. I could see Joe Burrow just saying, I'm not going to do this.
I think he already said he's not throwing. I know Tua is not throwing because he's...
he just got cleared.
Yeah, and then that other Auburn player who...
not Derek Brown?
The one who didn't finish Senior Bowl.
Marlon Davidson? He's the one who got hurt.
70 something.
Number 7.
70 something.
Oh, the tackle.
Yeah,
Prince. I forget his last name.
yeah. He was at the Senior Bowl, right?
Yeah, but Davidson didn't even play in the game. He got hurt
Maybe it was Davidson then.
because he's defensive end. Some people have him pegged as going like 20th overall.
Yeah, it might have been him.
Because personally, like, Burrow doesn't really have much to prove because you have all that tape.
Not just that, but I think you just gotta let them see let them keep that lasting image of you smoking the cigar and holding the championship trophy as a lasting image. Like,
yeah. Like, yeah, they'll probably want to know how fast you are, but it doesn't really matter. As Kyler Murray proved it, as Lamar Jackson proved it. In his case, it might help.
So with that,
I can't wait to see Herbert throw.
With that, the Rams, Sean McVay has already said he's not really interested in the combine. He's just going to do his media requirements on the first day, and then he'll be bouncing out. And the Denver Broncos are also not sending their coordinators, I believe, and I think their coach is only going for the media day as well. So
there's another guy not going because John Harbaugh's not going because he's had knee replacement surgery.
So
That's
is
crazy.
The combine at an existential crisis? Like,
is that a title?
I don't know.
I feel like it's a past title
because it's kind of a weird situation in that they're trying to take it mainstream by putting it in prime time, but
it's more of a scout Super Bowl. It's more for scouts and low-end assistants.
But if the players aren't interested and the coaches aren't that interested, then really what are we doing? Because, I mean, even before, like, people were talking about how the combine, because of the new interview format, like, you know, the Senior Bowl interviews are going to be really crucial because you get less interviews at the combine, even though you get more time. So you would think that people would want to take advantage of that because you only get so many private workouts, but I don't know. It's just weird to me. Teams aren't even it's not even on their radar.
Because you have enough tape. Ultimately, you just want to see how guys run and how they play. And for this draft class especially, you just want to see how guys run, how they catch. So you can send a lower level person.
Which I agree with, but
you don't have to be a coach and be there.
I agree, but I also don't agree because you also want to make sure you're drafting the right person. You're drafting someone who you can work with every single day. It's a job interview. It's still a job interview. Like, you want to get someone you can see fitting into your region, fitting into your fan base, fitting into your scheme, fitting into your plan. Like,
I agree with you, but how many times have you gone on a job interview and the CEO of the company was in there on the interview?
I mean, that's true, but I mean, I think the difference is that's not really the coach isn't really the CEO. The coach is more like your director. So that's like your boss's boss's boss.
Okay, but are all the owners going to be at the combine? No.
Some of them go.
Some, not all. But that, again, how many times
That's what I'm saying, though. So
how many times is your boss's 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 boss?
Is it at an extent? Is it at an existential crisis?
Existential crisis. There you go. I just think, like with the Senior Bowl, it's becoming more of a scout-heavy thing. It's more important for the scouts to be there than anybody. That's why there's less media access. That's why the coaches can blow it off. Send an assistant. That's why you look at guys like Mayock and Daniel Jeremiah, Charles Davis, guys who come up and some of their craziest memories is at the combine, not the draft, not private interviews and private workouts.
Well, because the draft is the end of the draft is the end.
No, the draft is the beginning.
No, the draft is the end.
The
draft is when you turn in all your paperwork and somebody else just makes a decision on your work, and then from there you take a dead period, and then from there you go back out scouting.
I mean, I would say that the draft is more like, okay, we hired you in this group, and then between the draft and the first game of the season is your probation period. And then after that,
that's not how it works at all.
That like.
That's not how it works at all.
Because think about it.
The draft is
how many. Tyler Wilson was a 4th round pick. He got drafted, right? Totally flamed out of the league. Cats get drafted and lose their jobs to undrafted.
But what does that mean?
Time.
What does that mean?
It means that like that whole process. Like some people are given a probation period. Some people.
I thought you were talking about scouts. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the overall experience of just like the combine. Like it's not really.
I was talking about
the coaches anymore.
In terms of scouts,
that's what I'm saying. It's for the scouts and the players who are actually going to be there competing. It really don't mean nothing for a coach to show up or not.
I'm talking about. You were talking about the draft.
Okay, I'm saying.
You're saying the combine is their Super Bowl, and I'm saying no, the draft is their Super Bowl. If anything, the combine's
they've already done the
playoff. If anything, the combine is like the combine is
the draft is you getting your degree in the mail, but the combine is you graduating.
No, so you're totally off.
Final exams. What are we talking?
The draft is your second chance. The draft is an opportunity for you to confirm what you already know or to confirm that you need to go and look back at the tape at somebody else. Like that's all the combine is. The combine.
Okay, cool.
The draft is the Super Bowl in terms of like after the draft, scouts are done. Like they file their paperwork leading up to the draft. Turn in their final scouting reports.
They're on to the next crop of guys.
And they're done.
Next year.
They take a dead period, and then they're right back out on the field, going to universities, going to other teams, going to free agents, trying to see what's out there. But anyways, that was a total tangent.
But that's also interesting because, I mean, some people might view it differently. Like, there were, like, all 32 coaches didn't just come down for the Senior Bowl. A lot of them came down, though. So if you look at the combine, the fact that coaches just aren't showing up, that's still going to be a draw on TV because, okay, the coach ain't there, but you're going to get more looks at players, the commentators, the scouts, whoever's there. They're going to probably provide you with more information. So that's probably like, I've always looked at the combine as like the meat and potatoes of the whole process. Like, if you don't have a combine and you just go, okay, everybody's going to do their pro day and then the draft, well, it's like, well, where's the checks and balances? I mean, as Warren Sapp said, you go to the combine to lose money because, I mean, they have you up at ungodly hours of the night doing interviews and all this other stuff. But some cats thrive under that and they, enhance their stock. But I think it's really the combine is, for me, it's just to find a proving ground. It's like, oh, you said you're fast? Okay, we'll run this 40 real quick. Oh, you can throw? Well, if you can throw in college, you should be able to throw anywhere. So throw to these receivers that you probably don't even know all their names yet. So I look at the combine, and even my mom, she watches the combine strictly for the 40s. Because, like, she judges people based on their running technique because she ran track in high school. So it's always funny when she'll look at somebody getting in their stance, and she'll be like, oh, he going to run a trash 40. I'm like, how do you know that, Mom? She's like, his stance is ass. Especially, like, remember those Florida DBs who ran trash 40s? Because they never had the proper running stance. My mom has called, like, a lot of people running trash 40 times and great 40 times. She'll be like, see what he did? As soon as he took, yeah, whatever.
You tell the story every year.
Yeah, because it's dope. And it's like, the fact that my mom doesn't watch football like that, but she literally is just looking at dudes' stance, getting out of their 40 or getting into their 40, and she's like, oh, he's going to run a great 40. Like, I feel like it's great for just people who really care about the game itself. I feel like the head coaches can